from NBC News. This is Today.
Coming up next, lifestyle expert Chassie Post is here. She's got some home design tips that won't stretch your budget. She's going to reincarnate the carnation. But first, this is Today on NBC. Is that my song playing? This morning on You Can Do This, lifestyle expert Chassie Post shows us how to give some home design tricks that will not break the bank.
Now, I haven't spent a lot of money decorating my apartments, but because they've had a bit of a quirky personality, they've ended up into some fun magazines like Domino and House Beautiful and Billy Magazine, so it's kind of fun to see them in there. One thing I've learned is that subtlety is expensive. Therefore, I go for the bold statement and invest in my walls. So in my last 3 apartments, I've used the same turquoise blue in each of them. Why? Because it makes me happy and it's cheap. In my current apartment, I decided to go with pattern. You don't have to be afraid of wallpaper. You don't have to go hog wild and do the whole place like I did. Just pick one wall as an accent. I love bringing the outside into my apartment and love having something fresh in the house. But with flowers, that can get expensive. This carnation extravaganza is less than $50. So the moral of this story is, don't diss the carnation. Now, the best piece of advice my friend and designer Miles Redd ever gave me was to get the art off the floor and get it on your walls. Art can be anything from, a giant cardboard butterfly you find on the street to even your husband's broken glitter guitar. Yeah! One of my favorite things about a house are the happy accidents or the things that give it personality so you actually know that someone lives here. So when your 8-year-old comes along and puts Spider-Man stickers all over your wallpaper,
I really love this room.
Or the Today Show comes along and breaks one of your prized possessions, you kind of have to embrace it. So now here we are in my son's room where I attempted my most ambitious DIY project to date. This headboard, can you believe I made this myself? With just a staple gun and a good old-fashioned crafternoon. It really balances out the basketball hoop in here. Thanks for coming by. I'll see y'all soon.
And Chassie's here. I am so impressed.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
And so you're going to redeem the carnation. I admit, I was one to diss the carnation.
Yes, I'm obsessed with carnations, and here is why. Because they are so affordable, super cheap. You can get them at the grocery store, and they last for 3 weeks. So we're going to make these carnations look like $1 million. All
right, the first is this sphere idea. Where do you get this sphere?
These spheres you can get at floral supply stores or craft stores, and all you do is you take one and you soak it in water.
Okay.
We've already done that, and then it'll keep the carnations alive. Then you take a carnation and you cut it down to about 1 inch below the flower.
Why does something always happen to me? Hold on.
Here you go. And you cut it to 1 inch below the flower.
Thank you.
And then you just
hopeless.
Pop it in.
All right, just like shove it in there.
Yeah, and I like to start sort of from the center and make a mohawk, and you fill in, and it's so easy.
Yeah.
And Savannah, we could even whip some of these up for your wedding.
Ooh,
Matt,
that's a good idea.
Al, we'll get everybody in on it.
Let me ask you this: you have them all kind of monochromatic. Is that what makes it not look cheap?
Yeah, a big trick with carnations is use the same color or the same color family. It's super easy. And then if you see over to the right, when you're done, it looks really, really expensive.
How long would something like that last? It almost looks like a hydrangea. It looks really good.
It's gorgeous. I mean, it doesn't look remotely affordable, which is the point. So it lasts about 7 days if you kind of keep these with some water. They still soak up water.
What would you do, the spray bottle or something?
Yeah, spray bottle, and or soak it in a little saucer.
All right, well, that's pretty easy.
Another thing, and you guys saw in the tape piece, if you come to my house, you're going to see the same arrangement over and over and over again because it's effective.
Okay.
So just take a bunch of carnations, and instead of making one giant centerpiece, do a lot of little ones, and then you want to sort of cut them down to a manageable size.
All right.
Because you're going to put a rubber band around them.
Okay, so not as short as those guys we just did.
So cut them down.
Do you do the diagonal cutting?
Yeah, it actually it actually keeps them longer. So you're going to end up with something like that. And then if you see over there, we've got one that's kind of already done.
Yeah.
And you just put a rubber band around the bottom.
Okay.
And then if you grab that guy over there that's got a rubber band.
Okay, yeah. Oh, wait, I really wanted to do my own.
Oh, look, that's beautiful. Okay.
I had pride of authorship. Okay,
awesome.
take a rubber
so grab
band.
that, put the rubber band around it, and then you eyeball your vase.
Okay.
And you want to cut it about a ½ inch to an inch shorter than your vase.
How's mine?
And then plop it in. You got it. You eyeballed it perfectly. Then you just plop it in.
Yeah.
And you're done. How easy is that?
It's pretty easy. I have to say the hardest part was getting those scissors
I know.
open.
And that was that was the hardest part. And then you're done. And I like to mix in, you know, objects from your house, layer it with books. And it's really so pretty and so, you know, not remotely affordable looking, which is the whole point.
Chassie Post, you've made me a believer in the carnation. Thank you so much. We'll be back with more of Today, but first, this is Today on NBC.